Hello, y'all. How are you? How are we doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. I am currently in my gym get up. We'll see if we can make it there as I am on day 11 of my parasite cleanse. But we will see. We will see. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the family. If you are watching the replay, please let me know down below in the comments. If you are, and hopefully you can hear me because I'm using my mic today. Um, if you are watching the live thing, let me know where you're tuning in from. The sage is like really saging. So I have to keep an eye out for it because one time I was recording a video and it completely went off. And I was like, why is it so smoky in here? Because the sage was saging, like it saged a lot. So we're just going to make sure it's not going to sage too much today. But welcome. If this is your first time here, I share all things about healing, helping healers tap into their gifts and allowing them to tap into supporting the community. I also help women heal, bringing community and allowing them to tap into the power of their wombs and their sacral chakra and their feminine energy. And I love doing these moon videos. I started doing them way back. I haven't done them in a while, fam. To be honest with you, I've been really focusing on sharing content that is going to support you and empower you. You know what I mean? As opposed to I need to see Shika's video all the time and make sure that Shika's the one that's going to tell me how to find that within myself. Just more inspiring. Take what resonates, throw out what doesn't. And this is exactly what we're going to do today for the Libra full moon. It starts on April 13th. Today is the 12th. Hello, Jolie. Hello. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, where you are, how you're feeling. Let's do a little check-in. How are you feeling this Libra full moon? What are your practices? Is there certain rituals that you want to practice, bring in? Full moons are all about releasing. And I talk about this, and I'm also going to share a little bit about the energy update in our live today. What you can expect is channel messages. Hanging out with you. Hi, Gail. So nice to see you. Texas. Hello. And relaxing and catching up. So let's just do a check-in. How are you feeling? I know this Libra full moon, I have been in the energy that comes up is making space to call in the balanced life of manifestation I am bringing in, and what that means is essentially this Libra full moon, the word that rings with Libra, if I can explain a Libra in all its essence, when it's completely balanced, is balance in presence, right? And this is what we're seeing with this full moon. So sit down, have your tea, relax, chill, maybe walk, whatever feels good to you. I want to talk a little bit more about what exactly about balance are we talking about? Harmony, peace. What are some things in your life? Two people from Texas. Hello. Hola. Buenos dias. It is one of the biggest things I've noticed about this specific full moon is harmonization. And I'm seeing this a lot collectively with relationships. I'm going to be specific with relationships. What relationships? We have relationships everywhere, intimate relationships, whether it's past or present. And I'm going to go over one specific thing. I'm just reading your message, Avery. Hi, Chica. Excited to hear this update. Me too. My Reiki attunement was supposed to be today. So I'm doing it different. Was supposed to be today at 11. But we're doing it a different time today. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Avery's part of my Earth Dharma program. Message the team, Avery, and then I will get back to you, or I'll just send you a message after this and we'll touch base. Okay. So one of the things that you can find with this full moon is it's focusing on Venus. Venus is still in retrograde. What that means is Venus is the planet of love. It's the planet of money and finances as well. And this is why I always tell people, if you have scarcity problems, you probably have scarcity around love, because love and intimate relationships and money go hand in hand. So whatever you are struggling with in finances, most likely it is going to be shown in your love life. So I want you to take a moment and ask yourself presently right now, how is your love life? Are you dating someone? Are you married? Are you in a relationship? what are the common themes that you're having around love? And even if you're single, are you thinking, just me asking this question, what's the first thing that comes up? Is it a specific person, a situation, what you feel about yourself, whatever it is? Okay. Now I'm going to ask the same question for the Libra full moon in the sense of the money, right? Abundance, resources. When we say money, when people say, and I'm going to talk about this because I shared this with someone this week. Money specifically is the energy of feeling supported. Resources means value, worth, right? Abundance, literally the root energy of it means worth and value, right? And that's something that no paycheck can give you that. We're conditioned to think that, a certain salary bracket or a certain neighborhood or a certain Chanel bag, whatever it is, the materialization that we're learning through the spiritual journey, that these are all nice things to have, but the value doesn't come from what you have physically, but rather the energetics of what you are. Then you might see a lot of people on YouTube or online talk about this in different ways, but I'm speaking it more on the energetic as far as the full moon. So now I'm going to ask you this question. This Libra full moon is going to highlight your cycle of your 8 to 10 year cycle. What this means is you need to look at 2015 to 2018, right? Did I do that right? 2017. So what that means is, what was going on? Were you in a relationship? Were you breaking up with someone? Were you working on self-love? What was going on? If you want to comment down below, where was your life in 2015 and 2017? Now, when you share that on down below, the next thing I want you to ask yourself is, what has shifted? Have you learned the karmic lessons? Have you learned what you were supposed to learn in that relationship? Have you learned what you needed to learn from that job that you walked away from, or what that job that was abusive? I am open to new love relationships. Been for a long time. Amazing, Gail. Yeah, I know you were mentioning that with me. So thinking about that, and even if you were still in the same space as you are now, like I was single 8 years ago and I'm single now, or, I'm in this space and I feel like I'm still here now, there is a common theme that will present itself. And why this is so important is because it's going to help you for the next 15, 16 years of your life in Venus, right? This doesn't happen often, but specifically, this is what we need to look at for Libra full moon, okay? No matter what astrology you're looking at, this is something that is common, is understanding the energetics of love. Now, when we look at it in shadow work and healing work, one of the things I always tell people is we can heal absolutely anything through the sacral chakra. Why? Because sacral chakra rules life and also transitioning. So what that means is that any issue we have in our life in this physical reality can be accessed through tapping into that same chakra that gives life, creates, manifests, but can also release so deeply. I'll give you an example. Right now I'm doing a parasite cleanse. I'm on day 11. Oh my gosh, it's so deep. The people in my Earth Dharma students, my training, my healers training, you're also in this process with me, but we're on this deep parasite cleanse right now for healers. Like, they're doing this protocol. And what's been coming up for me personally is all around womb. And when I think about where I was 8 to 10 years ago, I just left a job because I was SA'd by my manager. I started to completely, like, I wasn't there. I was on 10 different medications just to ground myself. I wasn't in healthy relationships. If anything, the partner I was with was telling me that I shouldn't talk about my experience and was kind of gaslighting me for the experience. And in the time, I thought that I was being too selfish to speak about my problems and what I was going through. So coming forward 8 years later, I'm in a loving relationship. And funny enough, my current partner right now mirrors the other side of what I was experiencing. He is one of the different characters of what I was experiencing as a victim, but on his side in his own way. And we both have the rooted relationship of self-worth, right? Worthiness, and getting rooted into that, which was way before all of the partners and the dating and everything. It was when I was a little kid. And I go back to that, just wanting dad to love me as I was, not praying for a boy for the next pregnancy, right? And thinking that I was supposed to be the boy that he wanted. Right? So there was a deep healing wound that had to come out. And this Libra full moon is really getting us to the root around our money and our love relationships, right? understanding how they are connected and understanding the own self karma. We're not talking about past life karma. You may have dreams and visions and images of past life drama, which is going to help you quantum leap and speed up the lesson that relates here. This is why I always tell people, when you do a past life regression, go to the Akashic records. There's this funny video of this guy talking about it with memes. He's like, if we're doing all the Akashic records and past life regressions, why in the world are we still healing? And what he's trying to say is that we shouldn't put so much emphasis or put it on a pillar around what we were doing in that life, but rather ground it into what we are right now, who we are right now, right? I'm just reading your comments and catching up. 2027, I was still in a super toxic situationship at the time. A lot of damage with my sacral. Makes sense. I'm starting to unpack the anger and numbness again. My first time watching Catching Live. Hello, Abby. And thanks, Avery, for sharing that, because I'm going to share something on that. So I put a pin on it. I'll be back with you on that. Nice to see you, Eb, as well. So like Avery shared, if that is something that you experience, because I know collectively someone has a part to the sacral shadow work right now. This is what Libra is sharing us: balance of life and releasing and letting go. And full moons are highlighting. They're bringing light to things that we didn't expect. It's called about revelation. Revelation. What are we revealing into the light of the full moon, whether we can see it or not physically? What is being revealed to you to step into the access of creation and creating space and not feeling drained and exhausted? So on that note, if you were someone that was experiencing a lot, for those of you, and this, I'm going to give you two practices, okay? For those of you with your womb that are connected to your womb, that have that connection energetically, and I mean, it doesn't matter, like, if this is something that you connect with, yoni steaming is amazing at this time. Okay. I just did 2 yoni steams the last couple days because it's the full moon. Even though it's April 13th, it's going to affect you 3 days before and 3 days after. Okay. There is a period. That's why a lot of people feel it way before the day is. To be honest with you, I was like, I had to look at the date because I was like, is today the full moon? Because I honestly feel like the full moon is already here, right? I feel it days before, ages before. So if you want to, you can do a yoni steam. I think I posted a video way, way back about yoni steam, womb healing, sacral healing. I have a video on how to heal the sacral. If that's any of those things that interest you, just put Chica Chica on the search, put sacral chakra, put yoni. It's going to come up and it's going to share with you a little bit of practices that you can do. Now, the second thing for anyone to do is actually when you sit with your sacral, you're going to be on a chair. You're going to kind of have your legs slightly apart, okay? And you're going to have your hands upwards on your lap, breathing in. As you breathe in, as you exhale, you're going to contract your perineum. So like you're sucking in energy and light force energy from the earth. What this is going to do is going to awaken the 2 serpents energetically that lay at the bottom of our chakras, like the lower part of our back. If you take your hand right now, place your hand on that lower part of your spine, where your sacrum is, the area, that area. So that area right there is where 2 snakes slither into the kundalini, which kundalini is like life force. It's our sensuality. It's our creation. It's what gets us out of bed. That's what kundalini is, right? It's our life force energy. And when there is an imbalance in your body, what Libra full moon is going to bring is going to bring that, whether it's physically in the body, you may feel aching, inflammation. Keep in mind, full moons bring toxins out, specifically parasites. Okay. And if you're saying, I don't have parasites, I do detox all the time, guess what? Doesn't matter how many detox you do, we still have that as part of our organism. But why we do the healing is to support us to rebalance it. Right. So you're going to breathe into the spine and feel the snakes coming out. And you may actually feel releases, somatic and healing. Do this for about 10 to 15 minutes. Make sure you have 20 minutes after that to do this. So you can do the yoni steam and you can do this practice. If you decide to do 2, do them separately. Okay. Maybe do one on the day of the full moon, one before, or the one a few days after, within that 3 day before, 3 day after, the day of, to really maximize your energy with the full moon. Okay. So again, just want to preference the number one thing. Where were you in 2015 to 2017? This full moon is giving you an opportunity to clear out any energies, blocks that are holding you back through the evolution. But it's also an opportunity to give yourself a pat on the back, because I think a lot of the times when we're healing, we're looking at all the things we have to heal, what we need to attain more of. And we forget and say like, whoa, my life is like, I survived that toxic relationship, that situationship, for example, what Avery shared, right? I survived that job I didn't like, right? I survived choosing to live or being here, for example, right? That was my story within that period. So what is your story? What was your story of your shadow self, your self then? Because what Libra is saying, that part of you, we thank you so much compassionately with love, but we also honor that that part of you had to go through the experience it did for you to tap into what is awakening. And I've been having conversations with some of you, some of my students and some of my clients, and some of the things they've been saying to me has been like, it feels like everything's on the table. Like if you were in the circle table and all your guardians, the councils around, your ancestors are showing up. And it's almost like you're right there and they have a whole bunch of things in front of you to step into. And it can feel a little overwhelming, right? You know, it's a knowing that you know that you're supposed to step into. It's a knowing that something's rising beyond what you know, right? And it's exciting, but it's also kind of scary because the instinct that you are currently being reactive with, because I know some of you are saying Libra is bringing up a lot. I feel overwhelmed. I need to process a lot of emotions. This is what the Libra full moon, just give yourself compassion because what you are reacting to is the instinct from the programming of what happened 8, 10 years ago in your life. So where you can use that energy with the practice I just shared with the serpent energy moving through in the meditation, this can allow the snake to clear, release that energy, whether it's in the right side of the body, which is more of the masculine, the left side of the body, which is the feminine, and bring you back into balance, right? There's a symbol why the Libra sign is, that weight sign, right? That teeter totter, right? And anything that's constantly teeter tottering can't hold what you're calling in because it's overwhelming. So all of this pressure you're feeling is an opportunity for you to let that go. Now, on the other side of this, some of you may feel like on the other end of it and you're like realizing it and it's coming really easeful. Give yourself a pat on the back because maybe 8, 10 years ago, you wouldn't easily be able to receive all the information, the downloads, the new changes, the releasing. I also want to mention that right now is a time of grief for some people in the Libra full moon. So there's a lot of heart chakra stuff going on. I know for me, I'm feeling it collectively. Some people are feeling a lot of phlegm or maybe a little bit of a cold or cough. This is just energetic. So just be mindful of this. Get on your oregano oil, get on your vitamin C, like oranges juice, green juices. Do that during this time of the full moon. This is going to really support you to just fuel those spaces with nourishing food. As I'm speaking to you, my whole house smells like broth because I just made a delicious chicken broth. I don't really eat meat much, to be honest with you, but recently my body has been craving broth. Because I feel the energy of animals personally. But I've been needing broth, and that came to me in a dream yesterday. It's like, you got to make yourself some chicken broth. And I'm just getting out of my parasite cleanse. And of course, chicken broth is supportive for you after purging, right? So ask yourself, what are the herbs? What are the teas? What are the foods that I can eat? Right? Ginger, amazing for stimulation of the body. That's great to incorporate during this full moon. Have a ginger tea, put it in your soups, put it in your food. Getting more connected with your temple internally as it's rebooting itself from something it's been holding, right? Now, what we're going to see is a lot of things shifting as far as contracts. So what that means is this Libra full moon 3 days before the day of and 3 days after is going to offer you an opportunity to clear out a contract. For some of you, this is a specific relationship where you have an opportunity to mend it or to move on. Simple, really simple. Either way has no judgment. Mending and what that looks like is the only way you can mend this relationship with this person. That if this resonates with you, again, remember, if anything I'm sharing, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, throw it away. I always say, or put it in a little chest and say, maybe it'll resonate later. I have those 3 options. Maybe this is a situation with work, specifically a work person, feminine energy presence that's coming up, or someone that is in your life that works closely with you. And they're going to kind of like fiery. I'm kind of feeling a fire sign a little bit, to be honest with you. And they're going to kind of just to you. They're like, and that's going to be their reaction from their own Venus retrograde and contract. Okay. Now you have an opportunity. The only way to mend this is if it feels like your truth to speak fully your boundaries. You can't partially mediocre. And I always say you can never make a boundary from a space of urgency or imbalance, right? So again, take this time during this full moon to sit with it. What I mean, sit with it doesn't mean get stuck in willowing over it, but sit with it, process it, and say, okay, what's the boundary that is wanting to be created here to rebalance myself so I'm not drained by this person? Okay. When that happens, should this person receive fully your boundary, this is actually going to strengthen your relationship. I think sometimes when we have strife with our relationships, and what Libra is teaching us is that we think we have to walk away from something, but it's actually an opportunity for us to strengthen our boundaries and give them an opportunity to open their voice and to strengthen their boundaries as well. And if we were all to do that, regardless, and not have an expectation of this relationship having to continue or not, or just knowing that that is your truth, that would actually fall in divine order, right? Remember, everything is in that divine order. Now, the second half of it is if you decide to walk away from this fiery energy, this fiery person that's coming up for the Libra full moon, this is an opportunity for you to match, energetically match for someone else, right? It's a training for you to energetically match for that other person. And I'm seeing almost like this person is going to be someone that will help you out with something, right? So you're going to create that space and it's for you to match with that relationship. And for some of you, it's also to match with your rainbow family, your collective family, your community. Like this relationship is teaching you what values that you want to hone in and be a energetic match, a law of attraction match to. And when you do that, then it's going to open up a huge portal for you to deepen and have more fruitful relationships for the next future. Okay. So, what else do I have to share with you? I just want to check in. How's everyone feeling, whether you're watching the replay or not? Sometimes when I'm channeling, I feel like my brain is moving faster than my mouth. So I have to repeat things sometimes because the spirits are just like super fast. Divine is super fast. God, universe is really fast. So if I'm speaking too fast, please let me know so I can ask to be translated a little bit slower. But what is resonating with you so far? Okay, let me know in the comments. The next part is integrating the lessons of the eclipse. So this is one of the biggest things that are coming up right now is I did a post about this on my TikTok and Instagram. And for y'all who aren't following, go follow Shika underscore Chica. I only have one account, okay? And I don't message you for readings. So one of the things that comes up for the Libra full moon is that the eclipse was kind of an opportunity for make it or break it. Okay. So some of you might have had some really big, like, I want to say like really big, like fallouts, like big ones. And it was very big toll for you. I also recognize the eclipse. A lot of souls decided to transition and move on. So some of us are actually grieving a family member or someone who's actually passed away. This opportunity was actually the contract that I see with this person passing on away is to actually open your heart. There's a song that I play a lot in ceremony in my retreats. And it says, first the heart breaks, then it cracks, then it opens wider to receive, something along those lines. It's like, it's there. But what I'm trying to say, I think you get the message that this experience of you grieving this person, this family member, this person close to you, or actually witnessing someone around you who's grieved someone really unexpectedly is going to give you like kind of like okay, life is really short and I need to rebalance my life because the amount of time and energy I'm using right now to worry about X, Y, and Z is really not worth this precious time I have. And this is also going to open up a little more spaciousness in your energy field, your sacral for abundance, because then you're not fixating from a scarce place of like always trying to get, because that creates a cycle of like, I need more, I need more, I need more, which is quite scarce. Yes, it comes into energy of greed, but greed means that it's coming from an energy of scarcity, right? So when we come from that, then who wants to be around someone who takes all the time? No one. No one wants to. But scarcity does bring that attraction because it's like the energy of resources, whatever that is to you, that tends to look and be like, oh, so you just want to like be with me for a bit and then move on? What did we just talk about 8 to 10 years ago? Relationships, situationships, all of those things, people who were in commitment, like all of that around commitment. with money and love is coming up in this Venus retrograde, right? So money tests us, or resources test us on commitment. Libra full moon is balancing our energy of commitment. Are you actually committed, or is this coming from a place of scarcity? Should it be from a place of scarcity, it's going to ripple and just like explode, right? And it's going to free you, honestly. You're going to feel this sense of freedom. You're going to feel this sense of like, oh my gosh, I'm relieved. You may have a cry and a good purge, but after that, you're like, I needed that. Like, I really needed that. This is what the energy we're feeling with this. So allow yourself to meet where you feel a sense of lack of vulnerability around those two areas of your life, and allow Libra full moon to bring that energy for you 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. Okay. So really integrate. And like I said, I did a video on this. A wound open can never heal. If you constantly keep opening a wound around scarcity or abundance or a relationship, it will never heal, right? Because it's getting, it's just constantly being forced to heal. You never look at a scar and say, you got to heal in 3 days, or else, the bills are coming. Okay. I'm getting this old. I need babies. I can't be single no longer. Like, no one talks like that to your wound. So it's the same thing to yourself. You can't speak to yourself in that way. And I know sometimes we forget because, there's some external distractions in our life and in this world that keep us there. But let this be a reminder in this energy update and just touch base of Libra full moon is really sharing us of our commitment, our true heart commitment, not our commitment coming from a means to an end. Okay. Big one. The next one that I have here is still going through lessons around love. So I kind of explained this already. I don't think I need to go too deep into it. But essentially, like right now, Venus is teaching us how to love ourselves, love others, and fill our cup, and know that an empty cup that doesn't feel loved is not giving love, but rather an ideology of love, right? So don't get too stuck on giving, right? I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and they're in one of my programs, and it's really interesting. I'm going to share this with you. And I noticed through our conversation, they're talking about trust. And I want to share this specific part with you. She was saying that with trusting people, she has a really hard time. Has anyone resonated with that? Let me know down below if you feel that. It's almost like she feels this sense of, what's it called? Curiosity. And she reminded me a lot of my little child. I love studying things. I still do. But there was an unhealthy side of that where I was almost feeling like I needed to know the next thing because I didn't want to be the stupid one in the room. Do you see what I'm saying? So the excitement for knowledge and wisdom and sponging was coming from a place from self-worth, lack of self-worth. So we really deep dived into it, and it was interesting to share. And I was like, what does so and so want? Like, what do you really want? I see you doing X, Y, Z, all the things, all the trainings, all that. But why are you doing this? What is the purpose of that? What do you feel like you're going to gain from putting your energy towards all these things? Right? If you're learning something because your heart is like singing to it, it's like, yes, this feels 100%, then do it. But if it's coming from a place, which, speaking from experience, where you just feel like you need to know the next thing, or there's something in you that you don't have, this Libra full moon is giving you an opportunity to actually like let go of that, release that fully. Okay. That you have all the tools you need. It doesn't come out outside of you, right? If anything, these meditations, these videos, if you ever watch something, read something, listen to something, it should empower you, not feel like you need this thing in order to get to the next step, but rather motivate you. Do you see what I'm saying? If that's motivating you, that's why I always tell people, if you go with a therapist, a mentor, or school, or whatever, and it's not empowering you, but disempowering you, bye. Bye. Because you got all of that. Your DNA, your programming, your soul is so powerful and so wise. And this Libra full moon is balancing where the bad and the good, and how you've kind of created that into boxes between the two teeter-totters here, right? And that you're trusting the part that Libra is shining on trusting love, trusting people, all comes from what's rooted around what happened in the 8 to 10 year process. Who hurt you, or who showed you that you couldn't trust them? What did they do in the past around that time that you couldn't trust them? During this time of Libra full moon is an opportunity to clear that and have an opportunity to retrust yourself first, And in doing that, you become more of an energetic match to attract the right relationship that will trust you in turn, right? So we're getting mirrors, mirrors, mirrors. You ever see these rooms that you walk in? I remember there was a museum that I went to when I was a little kid. Look at me like putting my hair out like I have long hair. Um, I used to go to a museum and they had mirrors in it. It's called the Crazy Kitchen. And this crazy kitchen, you go in and all the walls are kind of warped and it makes you feel really dizzy. And then after that, you go into another room and there's all mirrors, and the mirrors would make you look long and short and distorted and all the things. But what I feel like is you have all these mirrors, and Libra's like, which one of them is not you? Bam, bam, bam. You like, but you're looking at it first and you're just like letting it go. You're letting out the rage, you're letting out the anger, you're letting out whatever that you have to let go that is not allowing you to trust. And then you finally find the mirror that's you. It's not distorted. Doesn't look like it's changed. It's not filtered. It's just yourself. And you are having a conversation at the end 3 days after this Libra full moon with that version of you and saying, hey, I love you. I got you. We have the resources. We need to stop being on this hamster wheel feeling like we don't. And should we move on with this? There's a lot on the other side. There are some people who want to trust you, but because your doors are closed, there's no way that they can come for you to receive that love. There's no way that they can come and commit to you. There's no way that they can come and just shower you with money and give you all the things you want. That this hardship life that you've been programmed to have because of what happened 8 to 10 years ago, and maybe even the 8 to 10 years ago before that, this is an opportunity to set yourself free from chasing and step into the energetic attraction of self, attraction of you, right? But in order for you to attract that, you need to release whatever you're chasing. So Libra is just really allowing us to tune into where we are giving our energy away, shifting the frequency, shifting our mindset, and really coming in and leaning in deeper. Okay. So let me know what resonated. I'm going to just catch up on the comments here. Will people wake up from this full moon and come back around if past traumas have been brought up? So if it's coming up, the best advice I can give you, Tammy, with the waking up, I think a lot of people are, to be honest with you. From what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, people are seeing the answers in themselves. And that makes me so happy, because for me, the past traumas that are being brought up, it's not a fact that we know it and then that's it and it's healed. Like my favorite phrase when I speak to people, and I can say this because I did this as well. I've done this, and I'm still catching myself sometimes, is I've healed it. I've healed it. It's good. Like I feel so healed. Like there's nothing that I need. I can find all the answers to myself. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, that's great, but it's a balance, right? Because there's a difference between like, yes, genuinely, authentically, you know that trauma, that past, that experience, what it teaches you. But sometimes you can look at a book that you read 10 years ago and catch something different and enjoy something different in that book. You know what I mean? So Libra full moon is just saying like, maybe reread that book a little bit. Maybe there's something more that you didn't catch the first time, or you weren't able to catch because your where you were at that time was in a completely different area of your mind. Your mind was somewhere else, your energy was somewhere else, and now it's like reread that book, right? What I did is I sat on my yoni steam yesterday, 2 nights ago. I did two. That was my last one. And I sat on it and I went back to where the trauma started. I went back to the same room. I went back to everything. I saw my perpetrator right in front of me. And I just noticed, wow, if I was doing this exact same practice years ago, I would have been shaking. I would be talking. I would have what do you call it? A speech impediment. Like it was really hard for me to speak. I was just, my throat went like couldn't speak, couldn't talk. My voice was a mouse. I was super coward. I would cover my body with baggy outfits. I just didn't want to be seen. I just wanted to be in the walls as much as I could. Right. And then this time around, I'm like, okay, I'm okay being seen. I can cry in front of my partner and they can hold me. They can hold me. I could tell them what's going on. I could tell them with my words. It's like a child when they're having a tantrum. What does the parent do? Do they let them be patient with them? Say, okay, what are you feeling? What's in your body? Or they just like, stop crying. You're a girl. Come on, grow up. Get stronger. Da, da. They shut down that vulnerable part of us. So past traumas so much can be received in a vulnerable space, a safe space, as much as we're willing to not judge what's coming up. And our judgments start to dissolve more and more. So that story that we're receiving gets deeper and deeper. And as we get deeper with these traumas and these fragments of ourselves in our shadow, the more we get to know who this being is, you, right? And that's really your ultimate superpower. Because when you start to get to know who you are and you can catch, ooh, that boundary was not great. I'm I'm disassociating here, or I'm avoiding here, or this is happening, right? You catch it with love. That's one of the biggest things one of my teachers and elders told me. Catch things with love. Catch your traumas with love, right? So if it comes back around, it's like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to go deeper. But then again, like I said, it's not your fault what happened, but it is your responsibility to go deep into that and to just like have a conversation with yourself, get to know yourself, self-awareness. This is what Libra full moon's bringing up. Deep energy feelings with spirit world is with us now. Yeah, I'm going to go into this. So another thing with this Libra full moon is the dreams. Dreams are really clearing a lot karmically, and you may visit a little bit of a past life. I had one last night. Um, Past lives to tell you what you need to do in this life as far as nourishing yourself. So, excuse me, for me, I woke up the first thing in the morning and I thought of a plant. I was like, I need to take that plant today because what I just received was a message for me to support me and my lifetime in this lifetime, right? So that's how I get receives and messages from it. So what are your dreams like? What are the themes? Not who's in it. What are the themes? What's going on? Are you in a car? Is things moving in your life? Is there movement happening? Are you in water? It's emotions. Water is emotions. Car is like moving, you're going from one place to another. There's transformation in whatever the theme is here. You're going to one to another. Is there a house? Home is your internal emotions and how you feel safe in your environment, right? So there's certain things that you can talk about with dreams that can tell you. So Libra is telling you, how are my dreams speaking to me to rebalance my life now? How are my dreams teaching me about my karmic lessons? How are my dreams teaching me around love and money and abundance and resources? How are my dreams teaching me about trusting myself and not putting myself in a box of bad or good, but rather witnessing and observing and seeing, okay, there's a lesson here. How can I bring more love and compassion to myself to work with this retrograde? Retrogrades give us an opportunity, with Venus retrograde, an opportunity for us to go deeper into a lesson so that when we're out of it, it's actually speeding the process because we can't run away from it. It's like everywhere now, right? So people talk about lack of communication, like all these like first layers. But when a retrograde comes, it's like, it's go time. It's go time to sit with yourself. It's go time to sit with that planet and really deep dive. And we're talking all love and resources here. Okay. Been doing a lot of work on letting go, using my voice, keeping it amazing. That's good that you've been doing it, not keeping it in. This is 100% what I need to hear. The pains are immense, and so much has been lost this time period. Feels like I'm in a void, and there's no good way. My default is to keep going. Yes, number one, Eb, I'm so happy that your default is to keep going. I get it. Like when we are meeting these past traumas, like Tammy was saying, right? And it's like, do we go back to the cycle? Like, what's going on? I fully see 100%. There are times I receive something, I'm like, again? Like, why do we have to do this? Or I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I was not expecting this. I need to process this or whatever it is. And especially right now, some of you have mentioned it, people are feeling really lethargic and tired this Libra full moon because there is a lot of internal toxins on also being released. We're seeing that a lot in the sacral and the belly area. So digestion is a big thing. If you're noticing you're getting a little of anger, just sit with that and ask yourself, okay, where is this anger being pushed on me? And like, where's this coming from? Right. Same thing with the sacral, creativity, resources, all of that is going to come up. So really look at those two things. Full moons, if you don't get an opportunity, I'm going to give you a really great simple tea to work with this full moon. If you're pregnant, I wouldn't suggest it. If you're breastfeeding, I wouldn't suggest it. Okay. If you are pregnant and breastfeeding, I'll give you a different one that's better. Again, I'm not a doctor. I can't say I'm a doctor. I'm only a medicine woman trying to help here. So number one thing is woodworm. This word, woodworm. Woodworm is one of my favorite plants to work with. I work with them in deeper treatments with people at my retreats. I work with them with my students. I teach them a little bit more about that. And what that does is it's actually going to release anything attacking the body, specifically parasites. Okay. Why is this so important? Because there's two things. People are talking about parasites all over the social media. Like, number one, the biggest thing people don't talk about is what to do after a parasite, which I'm going to tell you. Two, what's the impact energetically of a parasite, how it relates to full moons. And three, how to work with these plants, not just doing it because you see it as a trend online. So, woodworm is a great tea to have on an empty stomach in the morning. And you can have it also 1 or 2 hours on an empty stomach after dinner before you go to bed. This is going to clear out your intestine tract. My voice today. And your gut, which is specific. A lot of people, when I work with people and I do healing or Kimbo or medicine retreats, a lot of people's issues are leaky guts. Leaky guts means leaky self, means like you're not your whole true self. You're kind of like giving your energy to people to kind of fit in. Like, it's like you're giving a lot of yourself. You're not fully in your center. You're not fully in your truth. That's everyone. Not one person is doing that. We're all in this together with this process. So a leaky gut means a leaky sense of self, essentially. So when I tuned into that, sorry, again, I'm not sick. A lot of you guys have been like, Shika, what's going on? I'm doing a parasite cleanse. So this is one of the signs. When you take the womb worm, you're going to get a lot of mucus come into the lungs, your third eye. It's clearing it. It's cleansing it, right? Especially with me, because I work with people as someone who works with plants. Usually I purge with people. I purge for people sometimes. So for me, it's very important for me to do these protocols when I'm working with people. So I'm clean and clear to be doing this work, to be sharing with you all the things. But I digress. So you want to do this 3 days before the dam and 3 days after. Why do we do it a full moon? Because this is when they create their babies. Full moon at this time with the cycle. Another reason why we should listen to the rhythms of nature is when the parasites start to multiply. So to reduce it, a great trick to do is maybe a week before the 3 days is you start to eat a lot of vegetables and fruits. Papaya, really great for parasite. The papaya seeds, don't crush them, swallow them. That's the trick. Have that before. Start to prepare your body, right? You're going to notice your stool is different. It's going to be really slushy. That's all the parasite, right? It's clearing, it's releasing. You're getting an opportunity to release that. In between woodworm, herb, you can also work with peppermint tea, which is really great. Another thing as well is when you work with woodworm for the Libra full moon is make sure that you steep it for at least 15 minutes. Why? Because it's different when you're steeping it for a tea just to have and actually having it to support you. Yes, it's an amazing detoxifying herb. Now, if you're pregnant, you're breastfeeding, a great one that's a little less aggressive is ginger. Ginger is really great. I love ginger. It's great for everything. If I had to get 3 plants all the time and I had to live on 3 plants and that's all they told me to choose, ginger is pretty up there. It's one of my top 3 because it's great for warming the body. It's great for clearing and cleansing, detoxifying, immune system, all of that. It's going to help with the metabolism as well and just support, move, circulate some energy. Okay. Now, after we talked about it's important to heal. So in this Libra full moon, about the 4th day after, this is where you're putting nutrients. You're putting high concentrated, great juices, presses, green juices, beet juice. You're having watermelon juice for life force energies, great life force energy. Melons is all sun energy. They're amazing to have. So if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling really low, this Libra full moon, get yourself a melon juice. It's going to help you. It's going to boost you up. You're going to feel amazing after. Trust me. You're also going to get a lot of, for those of you who eat meat, you can do a homemade bone broth. So maybe 2 days before you get that nice bone broth or the night before, so you have a nice cup of it. I have mine on the stove right now, and that's going to nourish your body. Okay. It's going to get your bones, your immune system, because it's slowly integrating. You just went to cleansing phase. So it's telling your body slowly and start doing some soups, some salads. Make sure your salads aren't too cold. To make sure that it doesn't shock the body after the parasite cleanse. And it's going to clean out the colon. It's going to clean out the parasites, everything. Woodworm cleans out colon, parasites, detoxing. If you just want one plant that will do all, it's this one, right? But it can be very intense. It's very bitter. It's very, your mouth starts to salivate. I'm salivating right now talking about it. It salivates a lot. And it's just going to clear all of that. And then check your poop, of course. Make sure you're checking it, clearing it, cleansing it. And just reading your message, Z. I'm a Capricorn Sun and Libra Moon, and I'm feeling the energy deeply at this time around. I've cried so hard so many times this week, as if my body is urging to let go of a lot. Yes, and this is why it's so important to look at that period time of 2015, 2017. What's the mirror between the two? You can even journal about what was going on and then journal what's going on in your life and then take a read of both of them and then meditate and see what is the connection here, right? What have I learned? What's the opportunity? How have I evolved? How have I changed? And is there any patterns or beliefs that are still in my psyche, in my life, that are not serving me right now and I don't need them anymore? Okay. Now I'm going to finish up the video in a second. I wanted to see if there's any questions. I already talked about that. Yoni steaming, I talked about. So for those of you on your bleed, you cannot yoni steam because I talked about this earlier. You can't yoni steam if you are on your bleed and if you're pregnant as well. It's not suggested, depending on what time you are in your trimester, but it's not suggested. So what I suggest you doing instead is working with the herbs I talked to you about as a tea form, and really connecting with what is released for you, what is needed to be released within you, that is blocking your manifestation specifically, that is preventing you from easily receiving it, right? So we're clearing and cleansing anything that's preventing us from receiving on our left side of our body. That's the receive. That's the give me, receive, let go. Let go is all on the right. Left, receive, giving here. Here's letting go. Okay, so just be mindful of noticing maybe if there's some physical elements coming up and just flaring up during this time. Okay, any questions? I'm on my way to get some now. Amazing. Yeah, and definitely see, again, one of the things, I have some notes here, so I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything before, because I know some of you are like, I'm going right now. So the one thing with woodworm, though, is just make sure, like, again, I'm not a doctor, but if you are taking any medications for epilepsy or seizures, is a contradiction. You cannot take it if you are epileptic or you have seizures, because it will induce that. Okay, so just a heads up for you. I want to share that. Okay. I think that's it. Let's pull a card. A couple things I want to share with you as I pull a card. I do have some online healings that I have open. I don't open them often for those of you new here. So if you want to book, it's just in the description. You have a choice of an hour and a half with me, and I go over healings that I've shared and offered over hundreds of souls over the past 8+ years doing this work. And you get an opportunity to go deep in your healing, whether that is plant medicine consultation, breath work, shamanic healing, past life regression, inner child healing. We sit and we go deep into whatever needs to move. And if that is something that you feel like you need some integrative support or anything, like I said, I'm offering that right now for my community. So you can go and book that down below. And just share with that. Okay, so ready for a card? Let me read one more thing. What is the quantity of woodworm that you find is unpleasing to drink, and what can it make it acceptable as a tea? You don't want to put any sugar or honey. It's good to have it as its own, right? Because you're having it. You want to make sure you're fasting. When you take sugar like honey or maple syrup, it spikes your glucose. You go into metabolism and your body's operating and the machines start to work in your organisms. And it's important to be in a fasting state with this woodworm. So usually in the morning when you take it, it's like the first thing you take, right, is the woodworm. And then maybe 30 minutes after, 20 minutes after, you have a nice tea, a warm tea, like a ginger, a chamomile, something that's more relaxing. And then usually I let that work for at least 2 to 4 hours. I'm fasting in that period. Okay. So, pleasing, I can't really say there's something to change it. It's very bitter. It's very strong. And because it's so potent, of course, I always tell people, yes, you can take too much of a medicine when it's a treatment. So I would suggest taking 1 cup in the morning, 1 cup at night. Okay. At most 3. But again, just listening to your body is very important. So I hope that helps, Light. Okay. Let's see what card we have for today for this Libra full moon. And then I will share a couple things with you all. I also have this really exciting thing that I haven't announced here yet. But if you're on the email list, you just got an email about that. So make sure it's our little, make sure that you get that and confirm it, because it's not an opportunity that'll be forever. And I think this is something that's been on my heart for a while, and Spirit knocked on my door a couple of days ago and I said, okay, let's do it. So make sure you add yourself to the email list so you can get that, because those of you who are first to receive it will get a little gift. Okay. Let's see. They're really letting me, oh, right when I said that, I'm like, they're really letting me shuffle today. Maybe we don't need a card today, do we? Seventh ray ritual. We're talking about sevens here. 777, 7. This card, I like it. It's number 44. So sevens and fours. Anyone resonate with that? Sevens and fours. Fours are awakening to yourself, awakening to resources and love here. You see how this person at the top, this feminine, which feminine is what we were talking about, sacral, is fully open to receive. Down below is all this worshiping self, right? You're worshiping yourself to receive. You're opening your arms to source. You're opening your arms to divine. You're on a throne of with yourself. And it's giving queen energy, if I don't say so myself. So let me read this parts of this for you, and then we will close the space. When the gift of the seventh ray enters into your life, something new is formed, something that will benefit your world. There may be an increased interest of magic, ceremony, and ritual for healing purposes, resonating with the high frequency violet light and the archangel Zadkiel. I always never pronounce that. The seventh ray also helps transmute energy from a lower to higher frequency. It is a spiritual cleansing agent that allows the truth of the spiritual freedom, empowerment, and choice to be seen and felt, resonating hope and joy in the heart. So in short, this is an activation that has come at the right time for you, for humanity to be affected. So all of these messages I've shared is specifically for you. There is an invisible entanglement of energy. So again, an entanglement with a specific relationship. We're talking 8 to 10 years that you are clearing during the Venus retrograde. And this Libra full moon has come in divine order to support you with that, so you don't have to hold that alone. There's synchronicities and they don't come out of nowhere. And this is why the seventh ray is coming up, for solutions, for loving opportunities, and for creativity. This is a time for unconditional love. For many, it's a time to feed embodiment. This is an area where your soul has been hungry for many years for the specific thing, right? Some of us could be feeding through ritual, ceremony, meditation, but a lot of you, this Libra full moon, probably have not been best with your spiritual practices. And Libra is really reminding you, not only Libra, but since the galactic day last month during the eclipse season on March 21st, which essentially is a sign where your soul family comes in, your starseed family ascends to earth, and they're here to support you. And what that means is that this is an opportunity for you to step into those conscious rituals. Those of you that are feeling heavy right now, go to your practices. On the days that you are least motivated, please go to your practices. Why? Because this is what's going to hold you in alignment for the seventh ray. Okay, for you to be able to do a short dance or yoga or sessions, or go into nature. Like I'm talking all about coming back to presence and self. Make it your priority. Make it regularly. This is what this reading is saying, and this specific card is saying. Okay, for you to receive this new life that's coming in, you can't receive it on depleted energy. You can't. There's no way. If you're calling in big things, how in the world can you receive it on depleted energy? Spirit wants that for you, but it's like, hey, we can only give you as much as you're willing to hold. How are the practices doing down there? Are you doing the spiritual practices? Are you meditating? Are you dancing? Are you doing the things? And you're kind of like, yeah, I don't feel like it right now. Yeah, I got other things to do. I'm busy working. Okay, yeah, but you can't show up in these ways if you are, and you can't be in alignment. Of course, you're going to be out of alignment because you're feeding into that. So our practices keep us here, even if it's just like a 5-minute meditation you do morning and night. That's going to hold you down 100%. Okay. So the gift of the seventh ray is the ability to live as embodied divine presence. For humans who don't trust, we talked about trust. I didn't even pull this card at the beginning, or even recognize the love of the divine in their hearts as yet. those who do are great supporters. So those of you who are feeling supported, you're like, let's do this. You're here to help the collective. So those who don't have the energy to do the practices, understand the ceremonies, understand the rituals. I'm talking about your family. I'm talking about the people that, might not understand what you're doing, why you're doing it. They don't need to, right? But if that's your truth and you just keep on showing up for you, it's going to rub off of them, right? I've seen this real time with the people in my life. It has been beautiful. Now they're the ones asking me. I just recently, what was it? I'm going to share this with you guys because I'm super close with you and you're my family. But I've been working on a treatment with my dad. It's been such a big blessing. I've been praying for this for so long to be able to offer healing to him. And he's come to me, says, Chica, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to do healing. And this has been the most heart loving, most honoring thing. And it's such an honor to get to hold him in healing. And I've done the same for my mom. And I'm just so blessed, the ancestral healing, because if one person's having an issue, for example, this is why I always tell people, if someone's at a retreat and their partner, for example, is going through the retreat and they say their partner is going through that, I'm like, does your partner want to do this? Then bring them to these things, support them, allow them to come, help them out. Take yourself off the pedestal and support the release of the collective suffering. That's what we're talking about, right? For me, that is important. It means nothing if you are always in alignment and you are always in this beauty. And this is what the elders have taught me, right? We show up in our practices, we become the walking ceremony. And when we see someone need help, we reach out if we have the energy. But if we can't help people and love to listen to their problems, if you yourself are not doing from a full cup, it's a false reality of love. This is what the seventh ray has come. Rituals and practices will remind you of how big your heart is so you can step into purpose, so you can step into yourself. I'm going hard because it's coming through. But this is really important for us to release the comfort, can help us free beings of anguish and suffering. What did I just say? I didn't even look at this. It says it in this book. I'm not making this up. So if this is something you right now are looking around, you're like, why am I around people suffering? Because you yourself have a suffering that's within you that you have to release. The crying, the anger, all of that. We give gratitude. Thank you. When people come to my retreats, they're doing a medicine retreat, they purge. I say, yeah. They say it in Brazil, so alegria, hush, hush, means yes, they celebrate you purging. Because guess what? When you start to celebrate your purge, you're giving it back to source and you're creating space for much more love. And when you do that, there's someone you might not even know that's going to give permission to do the same. So we're in a space right now, 4/4 is the awakening on a collective level. And knowing that when we do that deeper work, we then need to take our head out of ourselves and like, what do you call it? Isolate, come back out and be like, what's around me? I'm suffering. Well, look at your environment. Look at your people. We do this together. That's the biggest thing. Boom. Now, I'm going to read, Tammy, your question, but I'm going to read this invocation. And if you want to repeat this with me, you can. It's at the end of this card, which is a seventh ray of ritual and order. So whether you want to close your eyes, if you can, obviously, if you're driving, don't do this. If you just want to repeat this, go ahead. I now accept of my own free will the blessing and the grace of the seventh ray of ritual, order, and ceremony, and the assistance of the unconditionally loving masters on the ray, the violet flame of Saint Geraint and Archangel Zadkiel. I open to the magic of creativity, divine genius, and the ability to translate spiritual concepts into real world experiences for the greatest good. May I discover and use my innate power for conscious and loving ritual and ceremony to enrich and invite spiritual presence into the world. May all beings feel safe and consciously held in a loving, divine order according to the great plan of love. Through my own free will, so be it. So we just did something very powerful. I got full body goosebumps. Us speaking this into existence. And even if you see this in the recording, there's no such thing as time. This is going to open up something deeper for you. And it's funny because this is the last card of my deck. I just spoke the last card, and it's kind of poetic in the sense that you just closed a chapter saying this exact mantra. And in doing this, you've opened a new book. Now it's time to let go of that last bit of suffering that is in your life, that the full moon in Libra is going to shine bright. And in doing that, so be it. Now you're welcoming you. And promise yourself that know that the universe is never against you. They're with you, they're supporting you, they're holding you fully. And when you do that, you are now offering something that is going to awaken that you might not know, but you don't need to know. You are now accepting resources, you're accepting love, you're accepting relationships, you're accepting divine order, and your commitment now is your practices, rituals, and ceremonies within yourself. So I think this is a beautiful way to end this beautiful reading. One thing before you close out with me here, do a favor for the meditation. I just had Tammy say, are you going to be doing a meditation for the full moon? I'm not planning to. The reason why is for me, I'm right now focusing my energy on this platform and space to support community and bring up those who are doing great work. So that's been my work right now. So for anyone that is in the space right now of like wanting to tap into that, they're helping their community, themselves are a healer, whatnot, just give me an email because I'm working on some big things. And also for women that are craving community, please give me an email, working on big things. Again, you can book a one-on-one with me if you feel like you resonate with the energy here. The link is down below. Check out, there's other things there as well. And there's some exciting things coming up. Add yourself to the email list because those on the email list get access to this. So add yourself to the email list so you can make sure you can get access to the specific thing that I'm offering. It's exciting. It's for people who are light workers, space holders, and healers. If that's you, go add yourself. If you haven't already, there's going to be an email sent tomorrow. So have a beautiful Libra full moon. I'm going to go and integrate before I do a breath work with a community, doing a breath work in person with a collaboration here locally. But I'm sending you so much love. I'm wishing you a blessed and welcome to the new book that you just opened. Okay. Bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all the things if your heart desires. See you.